Well, hello there, friends. A fantastic video today. I'm showing you how to make my osso buco. It's gonna be delicious, I promise you. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell. Stay tuned. We're gonna make it right now together. Well, hello there, friends. Let me show you how easy it is. I got some onion going over there. I'm doing this in my cast iron pot. I love those. Those are phenomenal to cook. You put them in the oven, you put them in the stove, you put them whatever you want. So what we're going to do here, friends, we are going to coat the osso buco. Look how beautiful they are. Phew. Like macaroni. I got this from a butcher shop because grocery store. If you can't find veal osso buco, my friend, you can make it with a lamb, or you can also make it with a beef. The beef you got to cook over 3 days though, but you can also make it with a lamb. Okay, so it's much less expensive. Or pork osso buco. You can make it with a pork. Okay, so we got some black pepper in here. We're gonna flavor the flour. Then we're gonna put in it because that's a traditional way of doing it, and we're going to put some onion salt. You can put some garlic salt in there if you have. And I also like to put a little bit of fine cornmeal. And that's going to give me some nice crunch around it. I use the cornmeal a lot. And plus, you serve this with a goat cheese polenta or a risotto. Okay? Very simple to make. It's expensive when you get the veal, friends, especially these days. Let me check the oil to make sure I'm at the right temperature here. I'm looking for 365, and I'm not there yet, and that's cool. We're now going to take our osso buco right here. Look how big those things are. And we're going to coat them with the flour. We're going to roll them all the way around it. We're going to use this flour mostly for thickening our sauces. And you hear chefs tell you that it seals in the moisture. No, it doesn't. It doesn't seal in anything. It's just a nice crust around it, and it's a traditional, old-fashioned way of doing it. So we're going to do it the way my mom makes it, and everybody makes it that way. All right, so we're going to go in the oil. I got garlic olive oil going over there, and we're going to put that in there just like this, and make sure the oil is at the right temperature, and we're going to get a beautiful golden brown color. Okay, now let's go back to the other pot. We are done with this area. I put the pepper in there? Yes. Okay, very good. All right, so I got onion in here, and friends, the onion I already starting to caramelize. We want it to be big chunks of onion, meaning I dice the onion really big. Because remember, this is braised. Braised means we're going to submerge the meat. That's the way you do a brisket. That's the way you do any braised meat. You submerge it with liquid. And the liquid, of course, is we're not going to use water. Mamma mia, I see so many people online using water these days. They put water in everything. Water, you know what I think of water. It tastes like nothing. So we're going to put the onion in there, and then we got carrots. Then I cut kind of big also, you see, because this is going to cook for a while, so they cook big, and so they're gonna take a little while to cook. And celery, and I got whole garlic cloves. The whole garlic cloves, they're gonna melt. I mean, they're gonna, when you poach garlic, it's kind of like when you roast it, it's very mild. We got some thyme, and we got some rosemary. That's actually rosemary here. That's the thyme right here. I got a can of peeled tomatoes. You know, I use LaValle tomatoes. They're wonderful. I got tomato puree in here. And we're going to put at the end olive and lemon. That's my way to do it. We're going to put a white wine, and we're also going to put a little bit of port wine. You know, that's my signature. I like to put a little fortified wine, like a port or Madeira. It gives a little sweetness to it. It's delicious. And then olives. And so we're going to put the stock in a minute. And let me see how we're doing with the osso buco here, friends. Now this is this was a much more a popular dish years ago because it was not that expensive. Today you get you order an osso buco in a restaurant, an Italian restaurant, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Actually, everything costs an arm and a leg these days. Have you noticed that? Holy mackerel, I never seen anything like it. You know, I've never seen the prices of food as expensive as it is these days. It's really and absolutely unbelievable. So, as much as we want to caramelize the onion, we don't want to caramelize them too much because it's going to braise for a long time. So, as long as I got a little color in here, I'm comfortable, and I don't want it to be too brown. But, however, I'm going to wait a little bit longer because I want a little more color than that, and I want a little more color in this. So, also, we're going to put some beef stock in here. I use my beef stock. You guys have the recipe for that. I gave you the recipe already for that. It's beautiful. If you can't buy the beef, if you can't make it, so you don't have time to make it, you can buy a beef broth, one that makes you happy. Or you can even use chicken broth. Some people use chicken broth for this, okay? I was going to say you could also use vegetable broth, but not really. If you're doing a Veal Osso Buco, you're not a vegan, okay? Otherwise, you would use a vegetable stock. Nothing wrong with that. My vegetable stock is beautiful. Okay, look, we got some color on those onions. Not exactly as much as I would like it. So maybe we'll wait a couple of more seconds, you know. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Because I hate to put something up. Because the minute I start putting my carrots and my celery in it, I'm done caramelizing my onion. Okay, I don't need to caramelize the carrots or anything. So let me see how we're doing over here. Okay, we're starting to have some nice color, you see? But folks, it's going to take a little while, okay? I'm going to do this side, I'm going to do this side, I'm going to roll it all the way around. See exactly what I want right here. See how beautiful that is? That's what I'm looking for, okay? So here's what I'm going to do, friends. I'm going to do this on the other side. I'm going to do it all the way around it. And then I come back when we finish and we put everything up together, okay? So give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to put just a little bit more oil in my pan, just a little bit right there. And I'm going to continue doing that whole thing all the way around it. So, and then we'll come back and finish this up, okay? So give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Well, those things are big. Holy macaroni. Okay, now the onion are definitely caramelized. That's what I want right there. Some nice color. We're going to put the garlic. We're going to put the carrots. We're going to put the celeries. Hey, you, come back over here. All right, let me turn this off. I don't need no more heat. Those are beautiful, you see? This is what we're looking for here, friends. Beautiful color. Look at it. Gorgeous. Maybe that side over there. Oh, they're big. That side can get a little more color in here. All right, we're done. Okay, so now what do we got here? We got a little bit of the rosemary, a little bit of thyme. And then what we're going to do, friends, we're going to put the white wine. Measure carefully. Eh? A Chardonnay is good for this. A Sauvignon Blanc is good for it. Whatever wine makes you happy, whatever wine you're willing to drink, but a Sauvignon Blanc really works great for this. Got a little citrusy to it. It works perfect for this. Okay? Remember, we're going to put some... Oh, look at this. Look at it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. See? This is what I'm looking for right there. Gorgeous color. Now we're ready for those. So, whenever you're cooking with wine, friends, what do you got to do? You got to bring it to boil and you got to let it reduce. You got to get rid of some of the alcohol. You got to do a reduction. Unless you're using Port, Madeira, Marsala, those are fortified wine. Those do not need to reduce. It's really simple stuff. You know, cooking is not that difficult, friends. Everybody makes it much more difficult than what it is. You know what it takes, though? It takes understanding the why. Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of it? Salt. Hey, how you doing over there? Just want to make sure. Oh, this is gorgeous. I don't want to put them in there yet because I got stuff to do in here yet. So I'm waiting for a wine to reduce. Onion salt. Yeah, onion salt, garlic salt is great also. But buy a good garlic salt. Buy a garlic salt, then it's really only salt and garlic, not a bunch of chemicals in there, because they put a lot of stuff in there. We gotta wait for this wine to come to boil and let it reduce. While I'm waiting, You know, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I don't want them in a fry pan anymore. They're down. We're done with this fry pan. Let's take it out of here. I don't like to put it directly on my counter, so here you go. We're finished. I didn't want it to get any more brown than this. This is beautiful. So we want to bring it to boil. Remember, you got to reduce the wine by half. It's really that simple. After you reduce the wine, then you can put all the rest of the ingredient. Your stock, your tomatoes, your whatever it is you're going to put in here. The reason why you don't put it in before, because let's say I put the tomato and I said, oh, I got wine, I got to let it reduce. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. You got wine reduction has to be done by itself. You cannot put anything on top of the wine, because if you put broth on top of it, if you put tomato on top of it, you're not going to get a wine reduction. It's very difficult for the alcohol to escape if there is other product mixed in with the wine. That's why it's called a wine reduction, okay? So whenever you use wine, remember, any wine, I don't care what it is, unless it's port, Madeira, Masala, you let it reduce by half at least to get all the alcohol out. The other wine, a fortified wine, and they don't need to be reduced. It's really that simple, okay? And they're sweeter, though. Remember, they're going to bring a little element of sweetness to it, okay? So it's very important to remember that. So we'll bring that to boil. We'll let it reduce a few more minutes, and then I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, friends, well, the wine is almost finished reducing. I'm going to take those tomatoes, and I'm going to do it the way my mom does it. I'm going to break them up with my hands. You know, some chefs said, oh, we should be cutting them. You can cut them with a knife, but you have first of all, you're going to have a huge mess on your cutting board. You have to drain the juice first, right? That's number one. And number two, it's not the same. I think it's kind of it's got some magic to when you're making a tomato sauce or you're making a tomato product, when the tomatoes are like roughly cut. And also it gives you an opportunity in case there's I don't know what you call it, the thing of the tomato, you know, I forgot the name of it. It doesn't matter. This, I like to remove them, whatever it's called. It's on top of the tomatoes. And sometimes I forget my English, folks. The core of the tomatoes, the core. Is that what it's called, the core? They're not telling me. All right, so look, guys. The root, nah, it's more like the core. The root, maybe it's the root, I don't know. Look, guys, we got the tomatoes, we got the tomato puree, and then we're going to put the stock. Now, my stock has got tomato in there, and you're going to say, oh, it's too much tomato. You know what? That's the way I like to make it. You make it however you like to make it. That's the way I like to make it. I like a lot of tomatoes in my osso buco. So, and I'm going to put a little bit of port wine. That's going to give us a little sweetness, right? Just a little sweetness. And then we're going to put the stock. Just a little bit of stock. I got, you don't want to put too much stock, but you still want to put enough. So then you'll be able to submerge them at least 3/4 of the way, you see? So now, one quick little thing. For those of you that have never seen the channel before, this is going to be quite liquid, you see? If we want to thicken it a little bit, we can put a little bit of flour in there, okay? But if we're going to put flour in it, we're going to do it now, my friends. We can't do it later, because if we do it later, then the flour doesn't have time to cook. So we put it now. So what we do, we take a little strainer, just a little strainer. We don't need a big strainer. Let me find one. Take a little strainer. Making a mess out of this kitchen today. And then we take a little flour. We're going to put just a little bit. I just want to show you, for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. This is how we incorporate it, okay? You put a strainer in there, friends. You take a little bit of flour. Don't put a lot, because you don't need a lot. Just a little bit. And this right there, friends, is going to change the texture without making it too thick. You see, and then incorporate flour. You'll never taste the flour. Trust me, this thing is going to cook for an hour and a half. Like thick like this, they may cook for 2 hours, an hour and a half at least, because they're so thick. So you see right there, we got a little bit of flour that has been added. Where's my wooden spoon? Here it is. Here we go. You see, so now we're a little thicker. And this guy's gonna cook. I don't want it to be too thick, but I want it just a little thicker than what it was. You see? And just like this, maybe just a touch more stock. All right? I'm gonna put a little more salt, a little more pepper. You know, I wanna put that coarse pepper. Just a little coarse pepper in here like that. Reduce the heat down. And right there, right there, I don't care what it is you braise in this liquid, my friend. It's gonna be delicious. I don't care if you're putting a brisket in here. I don't care if you're putting a pot roast in there. It's gonna be delicious. And here we have it, my friends. Right there. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. And this, you know what I forgot, is a bay leaf. And I'm not sure where my bay leaves are. Oh, here they are. I'm gonna put a bay leaf in there, friends. I gotta put a bay leaf in there because I think, you know, it's amazing. You wonder, what does a bay leaf do? Does it really taste like anything? You know, this is probably one of those most underrated flavor. Smells like nothing. You think it doesn't do anything, but it's like a je ne sais quoi. This is like a flavor that the bay leaves gives you, then it's kind of magical. It's in the background. If you don't put it in there, you're gonna miss it. Not really, but it's kind of a magical. It's an after taste effect. It's an umami flavor. This is in the background, and it's quite special. And you should try to put it in there. Put a cover on that, my friends. We're gonna pop this in the oven at about 375. Maybe in an hour from now, we'll check it. We'll flip it on the other side. Maybe in 45 minutes from now, check it, put it on the other side. And then we're gonna let it cook until the meats basically fall off the bone and it's so nice and tender. And it should be able to pull on it. It's quite amazing. Put it in the oven at 375. 350, 375. Right? Put a cover on it, all right? Now, if you don't want to put it in the oven, you can put it on the stove, but it's labor intensive. You got to constantly manipulate it, make sure it doesn't stick, constantly do things with it. All right? Be back when it's ready. Okay, friends. Well, those I told you were going to take a long time. They took 2.5 hours. A long time. I'll tell you, I'm so hungry. Oh, I forgot my right. Here we go. So here we go, friends. I'm going to take them out. Oh, man, this is hot. 2.5 hours. It could take you, depends the size of it. I mean, it's taking as little as an hour and a half, depends the size of it. Those are like huge. And here we have it, friends. Smells amazing in here. I wish you could be here. This is like amazing. So, the only thing I got to do right now is I got to put the olives just to get them warm. That's it. I don't need to cook the olives. You don't need to put the olives ahead. There's no reason to cook them, you know, because, let me get a spoon. Here we go. Yeah. So the only thing we can do at this point is check it to see if it's thin enough, thick enough. You know, it's, see, it's thin enough. It's perfect for me. You want it a little thicker? Then you got to put some little cornstarch in there. You can put a little cornstarch dilute in water a little bit, right? See, the vegetables are down. And so at this point, this is it. This is ready to be served, friends. This is delicious. I'll tell you, this is delicious. So what I'm going to do is that, I made a polenta, grate, whatever you want to call it. If we're doing Italian meal, then it's a polenta. If we're doing an American meal, it's a grits. People call it different, you know, same thing. By the way, I got a recipe right there when I did the shrimp and grits. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's a phenomenal recipe. You got to check it out, friends. It really is. So look, this is the way I serve it, okay? Serve it however you want it, but this is the way I like to serve it. Now, this is a serving and a half, my friends. Everything is so hot. And then what I do, you can put a little bit of parsley on top like this for fun. But then I like to put just a little bit on my plate again, right? So then I'm going to take This is a big serving. Probably could make 2 serving right there, you know. It probably could make 2 serving. Look at this thing. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, that definitely, mamma mia. This is going to be big, let me tell you. This definitely could make 2 serving, right? What do you think? Oh, yeah, look at this. Look at this. Up. Yeah. I was going to say, let's make sure we do a nice serving. And no, oh, no. Of course not. I got to make a mess over there. Right? I always figure out a way to make a mess. Now, here we go, friends. This is where we are nice. We're going to put a little more parsley to make it pretty, and then we'll do the zest of the lemon. That's another thing you don't need to cook, friends. You put it at the last minute, right? And remember, don't be going like all them ding-dongs out there doing this, right? This is how you do it. You put the tool. I know a lot of you are going to say, okay, we know that. We watched your video before. But a lot of people are new to the channel. They don't know this is how you use the tool. You see, you do it like this, right? And then you go like this. You see, put a little lemon on it. Let me tell you something, folks. That lemon is going to do so much for your dish, you're not going to believe it. And then what you do, remember, it's got rosemary in there. So you take a little thing of rosemary, a little thing or 2 maybe, because this is not like a real wimpy one, right? Put it right there. And when you serve it, friends, don't forget you want to give him a little fork or a little spoon to go inside and get the inside the marrow. But yeah, that's an amazing fact. I'm going to let it rest just for a second, then I'm going to take a bite. I want to show you the inside, okay? Okay, you know, I love a lot of sauce. A lot of sauce. So I like to put a little extra sauce on it when I'm ready to eat it. Let me tell you, as much as I love a beautiful osso buco, the polenta, that polenta in there. So let's see what we got here. See, look, friends. I mean, I could just put it with my fork, you see? You can just put it with your fork. I don't even know why I took a knife. You know, I want to make sure then the camera can get it. But look at this, friends. Look at this. This right there, my friends, with a polenta right there. I wish you were here. I'm telling you, my friends. It is juicy. It is amazing. Tender. Melt in your mouth, literally. The polenta is a great addition, my friends. I hope you make it. Remember, thumbs up. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And remember, the recipe is down below the video when you see show more. You click on that and you get the link to the free recipe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon in the next couple of days with another fantastic video. See you soon.